And then it's 4:34 p.m. just to mark the date for the recording. And yeah, so just making the recording aware. Yes, don't have quorum just yet, but we are going to continue on in an informal process so we can get things going. So we're just going to start then with public comments and I know Lucas is going to make the motion, but yeah, since we don't have quorum, we can't technically formally do the proceedings like we want to. So I think the thing that's going to happen is we're just going to just go for it and not have the motion actually be made. Just due to time restraints. So you don't have to worry about it. But I appreciate Senator Spranik for not forgetting about making the motion, though. I appreciate you helping me out. So we're just going to continue on with just starting with public comments. Lucia, would you like to bless us with how's it going and the report you might have for us?
Great. Well, hello, everybody. I think there are some new faces, so let me introduce myself. My name is Lucia Nunez. I'm the Vice President of Equity and Inclusion. I sit on cabinet, so I am your cabinet member for today, for this meeting today. It's been a while since I've seen you all. I think the last time was in December when we did an Equity and Inclusion Awareness to Action training with the group. So it's been a couple of months, so it's great to be back. A couple of updates. As you know, we had our Equity and Inclusion Plan. You all had a chance to see that. We did a presentation to the Student Senate and to a student forum, wider audience. Since that time, most of the plans, the school plans, the academic overall plan, as well as some of the divisional plans are already complete. And some of them are being posted in SharePoint. We have posted externally the college-wide plan. So if some of you who are new and are interested, you definitely can see the entire college-wide equity and inclusion plan. And then in addition, we've continued the awareness to action trainings with each of the different schools as well as divisions to really move to that action place, the continuous awareness plus action. I think that's an important piece of it that we need to constantly think about. Wait a minute, what does this mean for the college? What does it mean for our students? Of course, there's lots of things that we've been working on, mostly virtually in the Office of Equity and Inclusion. We're planning our spring set of speakers. So stay tuned, we'll be sending out more information on that. There's been some information or some requests for information as President Biden released immigration reform just recently. What does that mean? What does that mean for some of our students? As you recall, I can't even remember now how many years ago, we did Student Senate Facebook streamed a session with an attorney to students about the changes in DACA. So we may need to collaborate with you in the near future as we get more information of what changes might be on the horizon. We don't know yet. So stay tuned. I'll be talking to Sean and then possibly Ellie, including you in some planning if we need some information going out to students. So that's one of those topic areas that we have on our plate to think about. And that's it. I'm here to answer any questions or also get any feedback. We talked about getting feedback on that training, what was useful, what else, what next steps. So, open conversation.
Yeah, it is an open conversation. Definitely until we make quorum, we are We are just having a chit chat, an informative chit chat, but a good chit chat. And I welcome everyone. Just if you got questions, feel free to just speak. Yeah, go for it.
I would say that, again, hi Lucia, a pleasure to have you here with us. So Mina and I are kind of working right now on the Racial Inequity Committee, and we had a brainstorming discussion today about future plans of what we want to do, and trying to find a way of kind of having like a training kind of like thing that might be available for students, like an open discussion slash training that could be something that we could invite students to participate in. We were even thinking on contacting certain professors and kind of offering like a extra credit option. So if you attend, your professor could give you extra credit for attending. So Mina and I were just talking about all these different ideas, and I think that, you're definitely a great source of information and again, contact. And yeah, Mina, bring it up. Oh, I think you're muted.
Hi,
Oh, there you go.
Nina. It's really nice to meet you, Lucia. Um, we were talking about a lot of the Racial Inequity Committee, and we had a lot of thoughts about that. And I think it's amazing what you're doing, and that you do have these contacts. So I think it's important to kind of share what we were thinking about. So the first idea under discussion is to first change the Racial Inequity Committee name to the Racial Equity Committee. The process behind this is more to convey our mission and more in a more of a direct form that will be helpful when it comes to social media growth, emails, virtual meetings, and more. Then the direction we want to go is to get people interested in a more appealing way, meaning we will have various ways one could join the Racial Inequity Committee. We will get in contact with teachers that teach classes like political science, request times where we can promote the committee to the class, providing them with the information and materials to get started. Next, we will create a sturdy structure where quorums will focus on being creative, interactive, and proactive. And to add on to what Senator Moreno was saying, so with the training, we were thinking further diversity training that covers cultural differences and stigmas. I feel like it's not enough to just understand that a school needs to be diverse and that there are different people who need to embrace, others. I think it's very important for them to have a deeper understanding about it. What are these cultures like? What are the stigmas these students have to go through? What is it like to be in their shoes? It's to build that understanding that goes both ways. And then we had a lot of other ideas. I could list them forever, but.
Well, I'm glad you brought up this committee because I had attended a meeting. I guess it was in December the last time. So please do invite me again, and I'd love to. Maybe I'll set up a meeting with Barbara and Mina and other members just to find out what more I can do. I talk about there's diversity training, which is specific information about Cubans. I'm from Cuba, so I'm going to do a whole workshop and tell you all about Cuba and Cubans, right? But then there's equity and inclusion training, which is much more transformational rather than informational. And that's like getting you to think about the way you think and what you've been raised with and how the brain works in terms of bias. That's more transformational. So I'm willing to collaborate with you all in whatever way. Let's set up a separate meeting and we can plan some of that out. And I really echo and support the idea of there's some great faculty that could do some of the informational pieces that, perhaps, we don't think about. So please do reach out to them.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. We would love to get in touch with you through the Racial Equity Committee. Thank you.
Perfect.
Awesome. Anyone else have anything that they would like to ask, share, include? I think that I'm so happy that both of you two are working on that racial inequity, and I'm even more excited about the trainings and talking to professors. I think that's super. That's right on the money. Finding different innovative ways to engage and get every student who wants to be a part of this involved. So you guys are doing a great job, really. But yeah, if anyone else, I'm really a little bit lost here as to how to proceed, really, truly. Yeah, about where to go from here. The meeting structure. Drive
I
Rome.
think we can continue with giving reports and anything that is not business. But unfortunately, because we don't have quorum, we at this point won't be able to appoint a new senator, which is disappointing, and we won't be able to approve the resolution. So we can cover any other topics on the agenda and go through it as if we were having a meeting, but can't actually officially vote on anything, unfortunately.
Lucia.
This is a quick question and a little bit, I was trying to find the agenda and had difficulty getting the agenda. So, and that would happen the last time I came to the meeting, to the Senate meeting. You almost had to give me permission or something to be able to access the agenda. So that's just something to think about. I don't know, maybe putting the agenda on in the meeting invite. I don't know, whatever helps.
Yeah, you bring up a great point. That is on the website actually now. Our website. You can download the agenda. And additionally to that, I did put it in the chat. But yeah, very much so. It needs to be public facing, and that's making a big effort for that. So, but yeah, I think we did get Eric. Great. Senator Sabranik, you had a question?
Never mind. I was gonna ask to sorry, I'll just get rid of the hand icon. I was gonna just ask if this is before, I think. Well, do we have quorum yet, or?
We do have quorum now.
Okay.
Now that Eric is here,
I
could call the meeting to order right now at 4:46. Ding! I just did, and we can speed this along and say that there are no minutes. I assume I have not from the last meeting, which is again very unfortunate. And I just need a motion to approve the agenda. And then that is where the motion to make a change to the agenda and add the new business under public comments.
Yeah.
So do we have a motion to do anything such as that?
I will move to amend the agenda before we approve it. I move to include new business items under public comments.
All right. And do we have a second for that? Seconded by VP Moreno. And any discussion or otherwise, all those in favor, please use the hand raising feature now and keep them up. There we go. And put them down. And any objections, put them up now, or all those not in favor, put them up now. And down, and any abstentions can put them up now. And down, and the motion to amend the agenda has passed. And now I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Is that a motion, Senator Sabranik, to approve the agenda?
Yep. Yes.
All right, a motion's been made. Do we have a second? Seconded by Senator VP Said, and all those in favor can use the hand raising feature now. Awesome, and put them down. And all those opposed, put them up now. And put them down. And any abstentions, put them up now. And put them down, and the agenda has passed. And now, since we had Lucia speak, we're gonna now be able to go and do the new business. And for new business, we have the new senator appointment. And I believe, Joe, you said you watched the video from the GA video from last week. So you kind of got a good
Yes, yes.
idea of that how Mina went through the process of doing this. So basically, yeah, you get that 5 minutes to just tell us why you would be a great addition and what things you're interested about wanting to join Senate.
All right. Does that
Yeah,
is that
you
now?
can take it away, buddy.
Cool. All right. Well, hello everyone. I'm Joe Ciardelli. Um, so why am I interested in joining the Senate? Well, because I just like to get involved, and yeah, I like to participate with my peers in the community and decision making, and I just kind of just want to help facilitate some changes that just make our lives better. Bring it forward where I can. Um, so I just think this would be a pretty cool place to do that. And yeah, so naturally I wanted to learn more, and I sat in a couple of meetings, and I think I'd like to join. So yeah, some of my past experiences that are kind of relevant are uh, I'm on the instructor board for the Taekwondo club at UW Madison. Actually, when I was a student, I actually went to UW Madison already. I graduated in 2016 with a degree in computer science and Spanish. Um, but I just love learning, so I kind of knew for years I kind of imagined myself coming back to Madison College here for electrical engineering. So I'm glad to finally be doing that. Um, but yeah, so I was in the Taekwondo club, and I've been on the instructor board there for 4 or 5 years now, and I'm still involved in that. So I learned a lot of just like kind of leadership and organization skills there, kind of creating the curriculum and making sure the students have a fun and rewarding program that they can participate in, and that's awesome to be part of. I was also in the computer science professional fraternity, Kappa Eta Kappa. That was co-ed, so it was more like academic oriented, and that was a great community too. And I served on the executive board for one semester there, so got kind of exposure to just the administration and like logistics of running an organization like that, and kind of what goes into that. So I haven't done anything quite like this before, but some things that are kind of similar. So I hope I can bring that experience to draw upon. Um, yeah, and some of the things that I kind of would like to maybe get involved in are maybe any of the committees that involve like athletics or extracurriculars, kind of that nature. Just something I'm interested in. I think I have some relevant experience, at least to a small degree, in that department. And then I'm also just interested in kind of sustainability, with using resources intelligently, and especially like gardening and nutrition. So those are some of the ideas that I don't know if there's necessarily a place for them today or tomorrow, but maybe eventually I could bring some of that to the table, and see if there's any room for incorporating those kinds of things into our lives here. I guess just wellness in general, we're all kind of here to facilitate that. And I just think those are some of the areas that I could approach that with.
Awesome. Well, definitely, I would shared governance. I would say take a look at that with the electrical engineering. Definitely, we just have a new 10-year plan looked at for ways to utilize the power better, our energy better. I'm brutally just butchering that, but it's more better ways to improve and be effective with the use of our power using all the resources. So yeah, you should definitely check out, and we'll get you looking into that. But do we have any questions for Joe? VP Moreno.
Hi, Joe. So I would say that this is a good question that we always make, once we are on our steps to go into Senate. So could you tell me what, you consider a big strength of yours and a weakness?
Sure. Let's see here. I think a strength is. Let me see. I wrote some notes down. there's definitely some stuff I want to talk about on that. Well, one of my strengths, I think, is like I can be a good listener, and I like to pay attention to kind of what everyone's saying and distill all the information into some key points. So I feel like I can kind of capture the essence of conversations pretty well. But on the flip side of that, sometimes I tend to overthink things, and I can be indecisive. That's like the other side of that. So I really like to kind of ruminate on information and try to break it down and understand, like, maybe action steps, but sometimes I'm just indecisive about that. So
Excellent. No, and I would say like the big motto that we have is, students talk and we listen. So it's good that you're a great listener. That definitely will be useful for us.
Very much so. And I guess if anyone else would like to say have a question for Joe, I do think it's important to ask the question that we're all trying to get better at, which is time management and commitments. This does require to spend time and commit some time, and we want to make sure that just something that you can fully embrace and incorporate. Having the time, making the time available to do things like meet at the meetings and the committee meetings or your office hours, stuff like that.
so was the question like,
Yeah, I guess I might not clear. I made that. I apologize about that. Making sure that you've got the time commitment to be a part of Senate or student organization in general. I mean, it does. We can all agree it takes time to engage, but it also has taken even more time now that everything's been virtual to be able to juggle everything and just making sure that you are able to commit to this.
Sure, yeah. So I guess I'm not aware of like the entirety of the commitments at this point, I don't think, but I know that there's the meeting every Thursday and then like office hours, 1 or 2 a week. And then I imagine there'd be, some emailing and, some committee kind of work depending on what committees, I might be involved in. So I imagine it'd be a few hours a week. And I think I can definitely, commit to that. I don't know if there's more than I estimated. Still would make an effort to make that happen. But I guess I don't know what I don't know at this point. So.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hey, like I always bring this up to everyone, and they're gonna not like that I'm bringing up again. Communication is key to being successful, and as long as you're communicating with everyone, and making sure that we're working to have proper notice, we can always figure out a way to make things work, right? So, it's the fact that you're here right now and showing interest. That speaks a lot about your character and your willingness to want to help make an improvement for the student experience. So with that said, I see there's something in the chat box. I'm assuming that's a link. Oh no. There we go. There is the ballot. Or not the ballot. The vote. There's where you get to cast. Make your vote, everybody. And we will have everyone do that, and then Advisor Rome will give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. If that, I'm assuming it'll be a thumbs up, but let's just wait and see in a second.
All right, I am happy to confirm that you are appointed as a new senator on the Student Senate.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Awesome, man. All right. Let's then get you sworn in. All right. So I learned a little bit about doing this better last week. I'm going to recite the oath of office. It's about 4 different statements or whatever. After each statement, I'm gonna give you a second to say I do, or I will, or something that confirms or does the opposite of whether you agree to the oath of office. So, um, I do solemnly swear to do my civic duty to serve my college, my community, and most importantly, my fellow students in a democratic fashion.
I will.
I swear to treat all people equally and fairly. Will strive to create a student senate which is welcoming to everyone.
I will.
I swear to listen, speak out, and act in ways which will empower all students.
I will.
I swear to carry out all of these tasks to the best of my ability.
I will.
Heck yeah, buddy. There we go. You're official now. So I'm so glad, and this is exciting news. This is very exciting. I know that you've got someplace you got to be at 5:30. I would hope that you'll stay around for the remainder. But if you have to go, get out of here. And yeah, we'll follow up with you. But we're very excited, and we will open up with welcoming arms or whatever, and we can't wait to have you participate. So, all right, man.
Awesome. Yeah, I have a few more minutes here, so I don't need to run off
Cool.
just yet. So
Awesome. Well, then I am going to continue on this journey that we have this evening and move down to now officer and committee reports with the executive council report and I am doing that and pull up my notes here. All right, so and I'm getting better at learning how to make sure I take notes for these meetings too. So we had discussed a few different things. Not to dig into other areas that might be brought up for the VPs here. I'm just going to lightly say that we talked about things like the Senate election, public relations to get that the exposure. And remember everyone to let's be pushing Senate and those elections big time. To keep in mind that the March 5th SAB presentation will be happening, Student Activities Board, where we'll present the 3-year plan and request for the budget. We went over tonight the resolution for the video playback, requirement adjustment to the bylaws and those requirements to be joining Senate. We went over the Senate info sessions that we're going to start next Tuesday for this upcoming month to get more engagement with students. And I really believe that was really the gist of everything we talked about. And that really concludes my report there. So if there are no questions, I will move down now to the admin and finance. Well, I'll just pick that up and then let Advisor Rome speak to anything if she has to add, because we did just meet about an hour and a half ago, me and Senator Sabranik and Advisor Rome. We were defining well, we're working on defining the 3-year plan and defining with things that we've talked about as a Senate, the things that we'd like to achieve or kind of more vaguely in an overriding sense tackle student issues. Some of those to kind of give everyone a reminder was things like student success, student engagement, and outreach. And then it's kind of coming up with the goals, and then for those goals, those action steps. So yeah, we spent a lot of time. Me and Senator Sabranik, Advisor Rome, had to leave for a meeting halfway through, but we stayed for about an hour extra, I would say, and we're speaking of ways to come up with more engagement, and more ways that we can really promote Senate and get that exposure. So to hear about the idea about the professor and the extra credit, those just add to the great list of like just really innovative ideas on how to get engagement. So it's a work in progress. I think we will probably talk more about it. Advisor Rome, I'm looking at you. Coming up here, either if not tonight, to next GA.
It's on your agenda for non-business if you feel prepared to talk about it tonight. If not, it can be pushed back to next week.
All right, sorry. Yeah, I zoomed in. I am really not doing a good job tonight. All right, so yes, we'll talk about later tonight. So that really concludes admin and finance. And now I'm gonna move down. VP Boyd is not with us, and she may be late. So we're just gonna move down to team development with VP Moreno.
Okay, so well, right now we're just currently working on delegating the helping for the training videos that will be coming up. So that's what we have on team development so far. And then if a fun activity comes up, I'm sure you will all know. I'll let you all guys know. But yeah, that's what I have for my report. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, VP Moreno. VP Saeed, Public Relations Committee.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As of right now, we didn't meet this week even. I'm hoping to meet tomorrow, maybe with my team again. But my main goal here is to keep posting stuff on social media, and I did already start posting stuff. I did post a poster last night, and I'm hoping to do the info session poster in this week. So I'll just say that you just go and like the posters and share on your social medias and stuff. And yeah, just go and promote the election stuff. And that ends my report. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, VP Saeed. Moving down to the advisory report under special reports, Advisor Rome.
It's all about elections. So as a reminder, the deadline is quickly approaching March 7th. So we have 3 information sessions happening before then. I don't think I've brought the dates to this body. The Executive Council is prepared to be at them, but I would love to have your participation as well. I'm going to cover most of the content, but it's always good for prospective senators to meet current members, to hear from you what Senate is all about instead of from my experience, because it's pretty different. So the first one is Tuesday the 23rd, next week at 4 p.m. The next one is Friday the 26th at noon. And the final one is Wednesday, March 3rd at 6 p.m. And all of the links are in Wolfpack Connect. So you can join directly through there if you are interested. And as a reminder, if you can get your classroom presentations in before the March 7th application deadline, that would be ideal, so that you catch students while there's still an opportunity to get on the ballot for next year. We need lots and lots of folks to replace all of you who are graduating and transferring, and so just keep at recruiting, because it's everyone's job, not just Liam and his committee.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, I second everything Advisor Rome said. So I'm going to move down. Well, VP Boyd's not here, but again, the presentation is on March 5th for the presentation for the 3-year plan and their budget request. Moving down, the housing accessibility update that is vacant. Digital equity update. Senator Zebel, did you have a report that you can vocally share with us?
Yeah, I can real soon. So, well, I got some bad news, I guess. So we had another 250 hotspots that we ordered, and we have them now ready to deploy. That's good news. We also ordered another 1,000 laptops for a refresh program and have been delayed and won't be until April. Right now, we only have 80 devices left, and that has a lot to do with the semiconductor shortage that's going around in the United States right now. It affects cars and laptops and everything electronic, so that's going to be a problem. Other than that, we have some things happening under the hood, and when I'm able to share it, I will. Other than that, that ends my report.
All right. If we don't have any questions for Senator Zebel, then we will move on. The bummer about the semiconductor stuff. All right. The Racial and Equity Committee. If you guys want to speak anymore about it, you guys basically gave your report. I feel like that's basically you guys gave it. But if you want to go into more detail, I'd love to hear it. Yep. Yeah. I guess I'm more looking at either one of you. So you can go for it, Sarah. Oh, you're back on mute again.
So yeah, we basically gave the report at the beginning, so I'm not really going to give another report here, but I did want to ask something. So for Senator Said, actually, I do want to be involved with the PR committee, but I was thinking that the Racial and Equity Committee could collaborate with the PR committee to be able to get the word out faster, quicker, and just have that kind of speed the process along. I think it's good if the committees are able to interact with each other a little bit more to, help one another. So if that sounds like a good idea, then I'm up for it.
It's a great idea. So trust me, it's a great idea, and I am good for bringing it up. And since that concludes you guys' report, I'm going to move down. Advisor Rome has a textbook affordability update for us.
So the students are not great at returning textbooks, it turns out. $225,000 were assessed to students for not returning textbooks last semester, which is just unbelievable. So some of that will go away because students forgot to request to keep their books if they were in a class that used the same book from the fall to the spring. But if they didn't return it by that deadline and they return it now, they're basically donating it back to the program and they're still charged for that fee. So that's really upsetting because the whole goal of the program is to save students money. And then if they're charged hundreds of dollars after the fact, it's not quite working the way it should yet. So if the Student Senate has any ideas for how to keep getting the word out that students need to return their books within, it's usually about a month of the end of the semester, that would be awesome if we can think about that for the spring, because I hate to see that happen. That is just such a huge number. Second, something hopefully exciting that's going to happen with the program is that they are likely going to add a cap for the textbook rental fee. So currently it's $7 per credit, as many credits as you take. But the cap would be at 15 credits. So if you went over 15, you would still only pay the same as if you were taking 15 credits, which I think is a really good idea. That, you're already paying a lot in fees and tuition, that it probably will not have a negative impact on the textbook rental program. So I just wanted to share those two things, and I'll give an update if it is passed for next year to have that maximum fee for the textbook rental program.
All right. Thank you. You want me? I'll read. It's just our question in here. A couple of them. Is the lack of textbook returns a recent development that came along with their remote learning?
No, it was just as bad last year. I think last spring was even worse, but they gave a much longer window with all of the confusion about how to get things back on campus. So it was almost $500,000 in fees that were assessed for replacements last spring. That might have gone down as people continued to make their case, but the initial number was $500,000 worth of textbooks. So, yeah, it's
So when you donate,
a lot.
when you're talking about donating, I mean, I know you're making kind of like not an analogy, basically. If I was I had my book returned, but if I say had a book right now, and I know that you get charged the amount of the book, if you handed it in right at this moment, it didn't matter if you handed it in right now, you still have now been charged, and that is that.
Right. Because they've already purchased a new book
Yeah.
to cover that rental for this semester. Because they need to get them back by that earlier deadline in order to re-rent them out for the spring.
That makes sense.
So if there's a big notice next to the return box at the bookstore, at least, that says, if you put your book in here now, you're still going to be charged the return fee, and it'll be considered a donation. It actually says that. So 500,000 not in damages, in books that weren't returned that needed to be repurchased, which also added to a lot of the delay in the fall, because they didn't have the inventory they did before. Students didn't return the books. They were giving them more time, and then at the last minute needed to buy more books just to cover what should have been in stock for the rental program. If you were purchasing books before the rental program, yes, hundreds of dollars per semester. So that adds up pretty quickly when you have 15,000 students.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we gotta dig in on ways to help continue to push the message. So that, yeah, this doesn't. Yeah, that is a big number, and that's really concerning, I guess, is the slightest word I can say. Like, because yeah, that's intense. But yeah, we will. Let's find a way to figure out how we can help with that. And I'm going to now move down to public safety, and say that Senator Willis is out for right now. I do know that public safety met for the first time today. So they've met, and I don't know what about, but I know that they met, and we should have a report soon or something like that. All right. And moving down to regional and metro campus reports, Reedsburg is vacant, Watertown is vacant, Portage is vacant, Fort Atkinson is vacant, and Goodman South is vacant. And then the College Assembly and Council reports, College Assembly, and that's me. I don't think we actually had a College Assembly and nothing's been new. And the next one is in a month or so. There's nothing new to really add here. And everyone will be informed when that does happen. And there's a date that I can pull off the top of my head. But yeah, it's next month. Academic Council, that is vacant. Diversity and Community Relations Council, VP Boyd is again not here. So Facilities and Planning and Investment Council, Senator Willis is not here. Finance Council is vacant. Information Technology Council, Senator Zebel, are you able to give a vocal report on that? Or
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
You could have just skipped all the way down to me, Just kidding. So not much happened at IT Council. We had a DCRC presentation and we're good. Our guiding principles were thumbed at the College Assembly. And after that, we were working on our next steps towards that. Our next meeting is in April, so that's going to be quite a ways away.
Any reason why?
I was not there. I could not tell you. All I know is
all
not
right.
me.
Okay. Well, we look forward to hearing more when more is available. But yeah, let's move on. And Institutional Effectiveness Council is vacant.
Could we?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that you co-chair it. So I.
I was wondering if Lucia Nunez could share some updates from the DCRC.
Yeah, definitely.
It was in the chat, so you probably didn't. Didn't catch it.
No, perfect. I can do that. So a couple of things that we're working on that I want you to keep attentive to. One is land acknowledgement statements. So gosh, it's been about more than a year now, right? I've lost track of time. We produced 3 different land acknowledgements. We collaborated with the Ho-Chunk Nation to make sure that they're translated, etc. South had that rock with the land acknowledgement, and we got a lot of feedback of it's a rock, it's down on the ground, it gets covered in snow, you can't quite see it. But one of the ideas that the DCRC had was we want every campus to have a land acknowledgement, something visual, whether it's a plaque or something else. So we're tired of waiting for COVID to end. We're tired of pausing things. So we are in the process of meeting with facilities to talk, what does this look like at Portage, Reedsburg, Fort Atkinson, commercial? Do we need one at West? Because Truex doesn't have a land acknowledgement, only South does. So what does it look like? Is it on a wall? Is it a plaque? Is it this big? Is it this big? What does it mean? So just so you know, that's going to happen. We couldn't have a powwow last year because of COVID. We can't, again, this spring have a powwow, but we're talking about doing a Native American summit that week. And we're thinking that what we'll like to do is do these land acknowledgements at each of the campuses, even if it's a virtual ceremony. That's okay. We're just going to go with that instead of waiting until we're back. I don't want to wait anymore. So that's one thing that the DCRC is working on. In addition, it spent a lot of time last meeting looking at the interest analysis sheet, which I think some of you are probably familiar with, right? We take a look at an issue and really dig at it and find out and loop out and get the history right before it becomes a policy. Well, we're applying an equity lens to that form in that process. So the DCRC and other councils also spent time doing that as well. Presented it to co-chairs just before this meeting started. And also it was voted on at the college assembly last week. Yeah. So those are the big things that we've been working on.
Awesome. Yeah, college assembly last week. I'm like, wow, that's been it feels like a long time. So wow. But yeah, that's great to hear, especially about the land acknowledgement. And I think that the only good positive thing about having these virtual things, like we have spoken about, Lucia, at the college assembly things, is the ability to, have to adapt to situations where traveling and distance may be a factor, and being able to still having a way to participate. So though in this case, if it does become an all virtual event for the future, having that option so that we can still, Senate could still represent and be there on some level if someone couldn't make it out to the actual campus. But we think that's great to hear that, and it is, I will say personally, it was nice to see how energized and enthusiastic you are. It doesn't seem like you let things just stop you from getting, I really do admire that about you. I just that drive is so it's really refreshing to see. So we love having you here. You're a great, one of our favorite guests. So yeah, so but we appreciate the giving us the update. We really do. And I am going to then move. Advisor room, is there anything you would like to add as the co-chair of institutional effectiveness? Okay. Then professional development councils, obviously we don't have a report from Senator Willis. And then student affairs council with VP Moreno. What do you got for us?
Yes. So one of the things that is currently happening, so there was a meeting regarding the mental health impact team and the possibility of doing a collaboration with the Honors in Action project of the Phi Theta Kappa chapter of the college. In this case, so their name is Beta Beta Psi, and their Honors in Action project is currently working on trying to implement like a virtual residence for students. So kind of like, you know, a resident, or that's I think you call them, like a hall, like the ones that supervise halls in dorms. It's kind of like that virtual idea about for, you know, an opportunity to invite students to talk, to learn about more resources, you know, connect with each other. And one of the goals that they had was, you know, promote or find ways to focus on mental health. And then the idea came to, you know, connect with the mental health impact team from student affairs. So now we had our meeting, I would say either yet, yeah, I think it was yesterday. So yesterday or the day before. And it was our first meeting to discuss over the collaborations. Um, the advisors were there, counselors were there as well. It was a good opportunity, and we're gonna have another meeting soon to see the final details of where the resources that we both have and we both have collected kind of like go together, so that we don't like reinvent the wheel again. And there's gonna be another student affairs meeting eventually, and when more news come about that meeting, I'll let you guys know.
That's fantastic. Any questions for VP Moreno?
I do might say that I, similar to Joe, I do have a class starting at 5:30. So if by the time comes that I can't make it to the racial inequity committee, I know that Senator Yildiz is more than capable of going over everything that we discussed. So that's just in case if I can't make it.
Definitely. Well, yeah, not a problem. So I'm gonna try to, and we're gonna let's just jump right into the temporary new senator appointment procedure thing. All right. I know we're gonna lose quorum, so let's try to do this. And I'm gonna summarize this. All right. So we talked about the idea of, instead of going to 3 General Assembly meetings, whether in this case it's bound virtual, but for the future and on, if we can go to have a new student who's looking to join Senate, go to watch one of the videos that are going to be posted on the website and currently are, as a way to allow them to get more comfortable, more acquainted with how Senate operates, kind of lessens anxiety, but it also then makes them not have to go to all 3. They can just go to the other 2, and then that kind of like that mentality that allows us to also get members who are actually interested to join faster. With that, it was brought up in discussion last GA about defining that a little bit better. And so we said we would come back to it, the Executive Council, and we have a resolution that we'd like to add and vote on. We would like to see if we can have this voted on by within 3 minutes. But
If
basically,
not, that's okay.
if we
We can come
cannot,
back
yeah, we
next week.
cannot. But yeah, so would it be in the best would it be in the best interest to read this off? I will read this off right now, Advisor Rome. Senator Zebel.
You should probably wait, man.
Okay, then we will wait. I will still we can still discuss it to the extent of discussing it, then which again there's benefits to that, and I want to make sure that we are having a discussion if there are any questions. And really, to summarize, what I just said really summarizes the realm of this thing. It wouldn't just be to verify that the student did watch the video. They would have to write up a summary of what happened in the video, and these videos would be either I know that there would either be videos that would have substance that related to things like how to operate Robert's rules and stuff like that, but also our committees, information on our committees, stuff of that nature, so that they knew. I think we can all agree that there's always been an element for every student that we like. I know for me, I didn't know what certain aspects of certain things were, and this would be a nice way to help continue to familiarize and make the process seem more comfortable. Yes, Sarah Sabranek.
I was gonna ask if we're about to lose quorum, would it make more sense to table the motion until maybe next week, or is it?
Well, no motion's been made, but you are correct that it is going to lose quorum, and so yeah, I think at this point it is best not to try to push for a vote, and just to, if there's anyone that would like to have any questions or say anything, we can, we can go over it now. I mean, the minutes have been allotted in the time. All right, again, congratulations, Joe, and we'll see you next week. And you let Sarah, Advisor Roman follow up with you, and if you have any questions, let any one of us know. All right. But it was great, and we're looking forward to it, buddy. So sounds good. But yeah, back to what I was saying, Senator Sabranik. That way, I think that when we come next year, this will be a bill. This will be a resolution that we have thoroughly looked over, and it will be pretty much a quick, make the vote. So, if anybody has any questions or would like to, say anything, Celia, VP Moreno, go for it, because yeah, we are losing quorum. If everyone is fine and dandy with it, then we can just casually move on. Is everyone good? Or does anyone have any questions? I'm going to take non-participation as a response of no questions. So then that's a good thing. Seems like we all are in agreement then. So next week, look forward to that resolution. And now we're just having a casual chit chat. But with the topics that we're discussing in this casual chit chat, the Senate goals for the 3-year plan. Advisor Rome.
I think because these goals are so important and going into the formal plan, that we should wait until next week to discuss. And maybe we could have it at the top of the agenda. So if we lose folks to class, which we know we do, we can actually have a full discussion of the goals next week.
Okay. Yeah, Mina, everyone can pretty much speak freely right now if they want. But yeah, Mina.
Hi, Aleem.
Okay, so I had some questions about the 3-year plan. So I've been hearing a lot about it. I am new to the school senate, so I am a little confused about it. I talked a little bit about it with Senator Moreno. Do I have to write a 3-year plan for the racial equity committee?
So I can give a summary. So the 3-year plan is presented to the Student Activities Board as part of the funding request for next year. So each organization is asked to sort of lay out what their goals are for the next year and give sort of a recap of what has happened in the past year. So how they spent money, what accomplishments there were, what challenges there were, and then use the goals for the next year to structure what the funding is going to look like. The big reason why the Racial Inequity Committee is why I've asked VP Moreno to start thinking about a contribution for the 3-year plan is because racial inequity is one of the goals. So we need to lay out kind of what the goal looks like for racial equity. If we're changing the name, I think we should do that before we submit the plan. And sort of the action steps that we think the Student Senate should take with that initiative next year. So that's kind of how it falls in with your committee, because otherwise, like, each committee doesn't need to contribute to it, and the admin and finance mostly writes it. But just because that's one of the big goals for next year, that's what we need from you.
I see. Thank you for letting me know. So there's a template, right? A template I can fill out where it has those specific information, like, okay, here's where we're going to have the goals. I'll figure. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
No, you're asking questions. That's a good thing. I would like you to, and I posted it in the link here, and it's on our website. It's in the legislation page that you're going to click on, and it's at the bottom of the page. There was a button that says the Senate 3-year plan for this current 2023. And that you can, if you browse through that, you're going to see what we currently had the last term for the goals and the action steps that then followed that. And that can kind of give you an idea of what we're looking for that. So because we are looking for it, looking to you and VP Moreno on that. So but hopefully that helps give some kind of clear up any confusion. This is a big reason why I wanted to make sure that the website was functioning, so that we could have the resources resources still available to us and continue to learn. So I hope that clarify, gets out any questions that makes it kind of uncloudy, so that you can understand it. And I would only expect any one of you to ask questions if you have any other questions that you seriously didn't understand something, because this is one of the big ones. So, but other than that, it's good that you're asking questions. But I think it probably is better to bring this up next week if we're gonna hopefully have more people. And I put the note in my little notepad here to make sure not to forget that. So with that, I'm just gonna say yes, I would hope that everyone has their student presentations done. But if you haven't, yes, we really have to get them done at this point. And if you can do any of the info sessions on those dates, we really would. The more people, the better. And that's a big thing for us in the exposure. And then please make sure that you're getting all your requirements done, your office hours. Like I said, Mina, don't worry about office hours this week. And we're just, everyone, we're doing. Other than that, we're doing a great job. All right, we're doing the best that we can, and let's look at the positive on that, and we'll continue to do it and work towards a good common goal of the students. All right. So elections, promote. All right. But other than that, meeting's over. We have no quorum. So I'm just gonna say it's been a pleasure. Again, always great seeing you, Lucia. But other than that, I'm always here behind my desk. Just let me know, send me an IM, but I'm going to take off, all right? I have a sandwich waiting for me. I'm hungry. So, well, I'll see you later, all later. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.